Hello everyone, I am Khwaja Rizwan, a Miro enthusiast, and I welcome you all on my Miroverse and YouTube channel. So this time around, I'm bringing it to you Azure Resource Manager template, and this is ideal for the DevOps engineers, cloud architects, platform engineers, and the IT teams. Uh, this Azure Resource template is a JSON-based infrastructure as a code solution that defines the resources needed to deploy Azure cloud infrastructure in a consistent, repeatable manner. For engineers, ARM template eliminates manual configuration errors, enable version control infrastructure, and accelerate deployment cycles. This Miro template serves as a visual planning and documentation board that helps team design, review, and deploy complete infrastructure, including web apps, databases, storage, caching, CDN, and monitoring services. So in order to help you understand how you can create an ARM template, I have taken an example of an e-commerce web application which will be deployed as an infrastructure as a code on ARM. To start with, you can see here that I have defined the legends at the start. The green will represent the required component. Optional will be blue. Orange is going to be the conditional deployment, and red is going to be the high cost impact. There are altogether 8 sections for this template. The first section starts with the ARM template components, and without these 8 components, your ARM template is going to be incomplete. So there are some required components and there are some optional components, and you can select from this drop-down list from here. So to start with, you should know that schema and content version and resources. These are the required 3 components, and rest are the optional components. You can see their description over here and the example values that you can use. And these example values are particularly are related to the example that we have taken. So the second section is related to the parameters, and there are altogether 14 parameters that fall under ARM template that you can use. So the first column defines all the 14 parameters. Then there are their types, which you can select by clicking on this value. And for this example, I've defined 4 types. So you can define more as per your own scenario. Then the default value for each of the template, for each of the parameter. And then what are the allowed values? What are the minimum values allowed for each of these parameters, and what are the maximum values? Then which parameter, for example, this environment can be used for the development, staging, and production. And the last column defines the description and example so that you can better understand how this parameter can be used in defining your ARM template. Excuse me. Section 3 relates to the resources architecture and dependencies. In this section, you will design the flow of the infrastructure of your application that you are deploying in the ARM. And for this e-commerce infrastructure web app, as you can see here, this is the flow. This green one is a required, as I have already explained you, these legends, this color coding has already been defined at the top of the template. And here you can see that whole flow is defined in this section. And you must note that for where dependencies matter, resources must be deployed in this order. Use arrows to show dependencies. Red nodes are highest cost, greens are required foundation. As I have already explained that these legends, these color codings are defined at the start of this template. Then section 4 relates to the resources details and configuration. And there are altogether 12 resources that you can use in this ARM template. In this table, you see that there are 5 columns. The first column relates to the resource type, and in resource type, it could be virtual network, NSD, storage, SQL Server, SQL databases, keyword, web app, CDN profile, endpoint. Second column relates to the Azure type, then API version, then key properties that each of these resources can hold, and lastly, the example so that you can, or the description that you can understand how these resources can be used. So moving on to the section 5, section 5 relates to the variables and the naming conventions, and there are altogether 12 variables that you can use in the ARM template. And alongside, you can see that I have given examples as well, so that you will be able to use these parameters, these variables, and you can define the scenario for your ARM template. Section 6 relates to the deployment output, and there are altogether 12 outputs that you can use for this ARM template. The second column relates to the type, the value, or the expression that each of these deployment output holds, and the purpose for each of these deployment outputs. And down here, you will see that using these output values, how you can create your scenario. For example, for this example, I have given 5 outputs, and web app URL will be displayed like on this URL, and so on and so forth. Then comes the section 7, which relates to the environment cost comparison. So when you're defining this ARM template, you are also concerned at how much cost this template is going to cost you while deploying this template. So this section talks about this deployment cost comparison, and there are 8 resources for this example that I have used. The second column is going to be the deployment type, then the deployment cost per month, then staging type, and you can select from whether it's a low type, it's a medium, whether it's a free or not enabled, and its cost, staging cost, then the production cost type and production cost per month, and lastly the high scale production cost and high scale production cost per month. And down here, you will see that all of these costs per month, they are summed up so that you can get an idea that what cost is going to cost you for each of these deployments. For example, the deployment, the staging, the production, and high scale. The last section relates to the checklist about the pre-deployment, then the deployment, and lastly the post-deployment checklist. And in this on the right side of this section, you will see that I have given a prompt CLI command for creating all these 7 components, starting the login, then the resource scope, and then the how you can validate the template, and then you can preview the changes, then you can deploy, monitor, and get the outputs. So I hope you will like this template, and if you feel that this template, this Miro template on Azure Resource Manager is helpful for you, so please like my video, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe my channel, and share it in your circle with your friends and your colleagues. Thank you very much.